protection of private information.
Thank you. I call Jan Logie.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise to speak to the Electronic Identity Verification Bill and the Identity Information Confirmation Bill, Cognate. As has already been discussed by my colleague Gareth Hughes, the Greens will be voting in support of the Electronic Identity Verification Bill and opposing the Identity Information Confirmation Bill. We would have loved to have supported both bills, actually, because we do recognise the importance and the value that they offer. However, as I will talk more about later, our privacy concerns in terms of protecting people's human rights in the employment process overrode our ability to be able to support the second bill. So the Electronic ID Verification Bill, as has already been stated many times, in effect creates an online passport, a unique online identifier to verify somebody's identity. And it really opens up our system so that we can extend the current iGov process to further organisations or government departments. And I know that this is going to be a good thing for many people, and particularly because I hear of so many clients of work and income who get delayed access to their entitlements because they'll turn up for an appointment to go and access some service or access an entitlement, and they'll find out that they don't have the right ID with them, and they'll get sent away and they'll have to wait till another appointment's available. And the hope is that with this bill we'll be able to streamline processes that will make it easier for the staff in work and income and make it easier for the clients coming in to be able to access the services, and that is certainly a very good thing. And we note also the projected economic benefits of this, as stated by my colleague Gareth, of $300 million savings potentially from this. But would also like just to be that reminder that we have to always be mindful of those who don't have access to the online services. And I've heard some very angry voices recently, particularly from older New Zealanders who feel as if they're getting locked out and have been into government departments and have been sent away to go and look up something online, which is completely intimidating for them and actually not something that they feel able to do, or even if they did have the physical access in terms of broadband. So that is something that we always need to be mindful of. Just to speak a bit more about the why we're opposing, sadly, the Information Confirmation Bill, because while we really do support the intent of the bill and are very aware of the fraud, identity fraud, and the harm that that's causing, particularly in the in terms of financial fraud. And this bill certainly holds the hope to be able to take action on that and decrease that, and that is incredibly important. However, our concern arises with using this in the employment process, and we haven't heard much evidence of how identity fraud or how common this is in terms of people going into employment. And the SOP that we put forward was to exclude it being used in the employment process because of our concern for marginalised groups. This bill, well, there is certainly the ability to opt out, and that fulfils the technicalities in the Privacy Act as we know it, for people to be able to have the choice to opt out. The reality is, for marginalised communities and marginalised people who are worried about their ability to get a job, to be able to say, no, I'm not going to provide you with that information, people are going to not feel they're able to make that choice. And by not making that choice, they will be, in effect, required to give information that will present their date of birth and their nation, place of birth. And those are 2 points that we know are common grounds for discrimination, not grounds, common basis of discrimination in this country, and something we need to ensure people's ability to protect themselves against, which is why we will be voting against this bill.
Mr Speaker.
I call Louise Upston.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm pleased to support both the Electronic Identity Verification Bill and the Identity Information Confirmation